average cinnamon roll is like this big. And it costs this much for a half dozen. Huh? When you could have one of these for this price per roll. That is but cheaper. People don't really think of a cinnamon roll as something that's commonly expensive, right? Cinnamon rolls are cheap.
Right?
Actually, wrong. You're wrong. Congratulations. Let's get a round of applause for being wrong. Cinnamon rolls are egregiously expensive. And they're so simple to make, it requires very little effort. You have all the ingredients in your pantry right now. What are you waiting for? This is the recipe for you. I want to kiss you. Do you want to kiss me? I hope so. So let's make this, shall we?
This is gonna be a quicker one than usual because it's so god dang easy. To start off with 1 cup or 240 milliliters of whole milk, heated to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, whisk in 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of instant yeast, and let that sit for a couple minutes, then mix in 2 whole eggs until homogeneous. Pour that into your stand mixer, and yes, you can do this by hand, okay? In a separate medium bowl, add 4 cups or 600 grams of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a cup or 164 grams of granulated sugar, half a teaspoon or 5 grams of fine sea salt, and this is 100% optional, but I also added 3 grams of amylase, which again, optional, but it helps soften the bread up a little bit. Now, with your stand mixer running on medium-low, add in your flour mixture until all of your flour is added. Let your stand mixer slap the dough all around that bowl for about 3 to 5 minutes or till smooth, then add half a cup or 112 grams of unsalted butter. Then just let that mix until it's incorporated, form that into a light ball, pop it into a grease bowl, cover with plastic wrap and let it rise for 1.5 hours at room temp or until doubled. Now, instead of standing around and staring at a wall, we're gonna prep everything for this while your dough rises. First, the filling. In a small bowl, combine 3/4 of a cup or 164 grams of granulated sugar and 1 1/4 teaspoon or 10 grams of ground cinnamon. Whisk till thoroughly combined, then in a medium-sized bowl, add 1 cup or 242 grams of salted, softened butter. Now add your sugar mixture and mix together until you have a smooth, homogeneous paste. That is your cinnamon sugar filling. Now for the icing, snag yourself yet another bowl and add 4 ounces or 113 grams of cream cheese that's been softened to room temp. Mix in 1 cup or 120 grams of powdered sugar and keep mixing until you get a smooth paste, then mix in about 3 tablespoons or 45 grams of whole milk. Now listen up here, pal. There's a lot of parameters that affect an icing, so you might want to mix that milk in 1 tablespoon at a time until it reaches the desired consistency. It's a goddamn science. Okay, once your dough is done and full of joy, punch it down. Then lightly flour a work surface in your dough. Then you're gonna roll this bad boy way out into a rectangle that's 26 inches long and 14 inches wide. Spread your cinnamon butter paste to cover every square foot like it's real estate. Then using measuring tape, on the long side of your dough, you're going to cut 2-inch wide strips. You should end up with about 12 to 14 strips total. Now what I want you to do is roll 6 of those strips nice and tight all the way up to get a beautiful spiral like this. Rinse and repeat until you get 6 rolls, and this is where the secret comes into making a giant cinnamon roll. Take one of your rolls and place it at the bottom of another unrolled strip and perform the same rolling technique, allowing that strip to wrap around your other bun. Do that with all of your remaining dough, and you should have a nice array of absolutely caked up cinnamon rolls. Now pop those bad boys onto a sheet tray, lined with parchment, cover it with either greased plastic wrap or an inverted large container, and then wrapped in plastic wrap to make sure there's no air that can get into it, and let this proof at room temp for 45 minutes to an hour or until doubled and preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Then optionally, you can spray these with water or heavy cream, pop them into a preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown and chonky. Pull them out, let them cool on the tray for about 5 minutes, then drench in your icing. I don't want to read any jokes about this in the comment. Y'all are nasty, alright? These things look beautiful. Let's see if these cinnamon rolls match up to any other cinnamon roll despite its unconventional method.
Good lord! This is a big cinnamon roll. Most of the time whenever you make cinnamon rolls, I feel like they always end up smaller than you expect. That's because the majority of cinnamon rolls that you see at a lot of places are gigantic. Very minimal ingredients, super simple, stuff you probably already have in your pantry. What more do you want? Look how soft that is. I think we need a sound test of this. This is a new kind of sound test. That is an ooey gooey, super soft cinnamon roll. It's just as good as any other fancy bakery you would go to in town, and for a fraction of the cost. Listen, buddy, there's one place I'm gonna take a giant cinnamon roll. It's not to my wallet, it's to the bedroom.
You wanna know what else has spirals of big, thick, sweet gooiness? B-roll.
So we made our gigantic cinnamon rolls. Not quite a butt better, but in a way it kind of is. Feel good about that? I feel good about it. The whole point of this series is not just to say, oh, this can be made cheaply by doing this. I'm not trying to find some sort of newfangled way that you've never seen it done before. Granted, yes, I do mess with the ingredients to create the highest level of flavor for the lowest cost. That's the point. But the real point is about technique. We made a giant cinnamon roll, but with a single batch recipe. How is that possible? You just cut less of them? You only cut 6 of them? No! It's the rolling technique. It's the way that you put it on the tray. It's the finesse. That is what makes something good. It's not about the price. These beautiful cinnamon rolls may not cost much, but boy howdy, they'll kick you right in the pants with flavor. So if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you